In 2026, Americans are buying more ice cream than ever, but not every tub is actually made with real cream. Many products on U.S. shelves are legally sold as frozen dairy dessert, real cream and milk quietly swapped for vegetable oils, fillers, and stabilizers. We're counting down 6 brands to avoid this summer and 4 that actually use real cream, starting with the budget tub that barely qualifies as dairy. In the 6th place, Great Value's frozen dairy dessert sets the low bar for supermarket ice cream lookalikes. The tub may promise a cookies and cream experience, but the ingredient list tells a different story. Whey, corn syrup, gar gum, carrageenan, cellulose gum, and cellulose gel all crowd the label, while real cream is nowhere near the top. The use of corn syrup as a main sweetener, paired with a quartet of stabilizing gums, signals a product built for shelf life and cost, not creaminess. The label itself often dodges the term ice cream in favor of the legally vague frozen dairy dessert, a trick exposed in viral consumer videos. With an estimated milk fat content around 5%, and a melt time of barely 2 minutes at summer temperatures, this budget brand melts away any illusion of real ice cream. Shoppers expecting a creamy treat end up with a thin, airy substitute loaded with additives. In the 5th place, Breyers stands as a cautionary tale for anyone who trusts a familiar name to mean quality. Once celebrated for its short, all-natural ingredient list, Breyers quietly shifted several of its classic flavors to a new formula built around coconut oil instead of real cream. The label now reads, Frozen Dairy Dessert, a legal move required by the drop to roughly 6% milk fat, far below the federal ice cream standard. 4 different stabilizers join the mix, giving the product a texture that's more airy and less satisfying than the old creamy standard. The backlash has been swift. Over 2,000 Reddit users vented frustration at the change, and consumer watchdogs like Mouseprint and Snopes confirmed the reformulation was about cutting dairy, not air. Breyers' move away from real cream shows how even legacy brands can trade substance for shelf life, making label reading essential for anyone chasing true ice cream. In the 4th place, Blue Ribbon Classics wears its frozen dairy dessert badge openly, but honesty on the label doesn't translate to quality in the tub. The ingredient list reads like a chemistry set: skim milk, coconut oil, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, and a parade of 5 different gums, guar, cellulose, propylene glycol monoesters, carrageenan, and carob bean gum. Real cream is nowhere to be found, and the milk fat content hovers around 5%, well below the legal threshold for ice cream. The Environmental Working Group flags Blue Ribbon for high concern, citing bioengineered additives and a stabilizer load that's among the highest in the freezer aisle. This isn't a case of hidden shortcuts. It's a product built from the ground up for cost and shelf life, not for creamy satisfaction. Shoppers looking for real ice cream will find only a dense web of thickeners and a bland, quick-melting substitute. In 3rd place, Turkey Hill complicates the ice cream aisle with a split personality few shoppers notice at first glance. Under the same brand name, the company offers both classic ice cream and a separate frozen dairy dessert line, products that look nearly identical in the freezer but differ sharply inside. The frozen dairy dessert tier swaps real cream for coconut oil as its main fat, dropping the milk fat content to around 7%. Well below the federal standard for ice cream. Ingredient panels reveal a trio of stabilizing gums and a reliance on corn syrup, while the carton quietly prints frozen dairy dessert in small type on the front. This dual label strategy means a Turkey Hill tub could deliver either a creamy, legal ice cream or a lighter, oil-thickened dessert, depending on the sub-brand. For consumers, the only safeguard is to check the exact line, not just the familiar name, before buying. In 2nd place, Edy's and Dreyer's Grand Ice Cream blur the line between legal definition and marketing spin. The front of the tub boldly proclaims ice cream, yet a closer look at the nutrition facts reveals just 3 grams of fat per serving, roughly 5% milk fat, half the federal minimum for true ice cream. Digging deeper, coconut oil appears ahead of cream on the ingredient list, making plant fat the main source of richness instead of real dairy. 4 different gums, guar, carrageenan, cellulose, and mono and diglycerides prop up the texture, compensating for what's missing in cream. In practical terms, this formula melts in under 90 seconds at summer temperatures, collapsing into a thin, foamy puddle. The result is a product that looks and sounds like ice cream on the outside, but delivers an airy, quick-melting, and flavor-light experience that falls far short of what shoppers expect from the real thing. And finally, in first place, Friendly's turns the summer ice cream aisle into a guessing game no shopper should have to play. Within the same flavor family, tubs can appear as either ice cream or frozen dairy dessert, often side by side in the freezer. This split labeling isn't just a technicality, it's a trap that leaves even careful buyers confused about what they're actually getting. The frozen dairy dessert versions rely on a formula of 5 to 7% milk fat, bulked up with coconut oil, corn syrup, and artificial butter flavor. Ingredient panels list a parade of gums, guar, carrageenan, cellulose, designed to mimic the thickness real cream would provide. Open Food Facts and Friendly's own catalog confirm this dual-track approach, making it nearly impossible to trust the front label alone. For anyone who expects a creamy treat, the only defense is to check both the front and back of every Friendly's tub, when the same flavor can mean 2 entirely different products. Label vigilance becomes the only way to avoid a summer of disappointment. Number 4. Tillamook delivers a real cream experience without the premium price tag. Each tub boasts 13.5% butterfat, well above the federal minimum, and a clear step up from supermarket standards. The ingredient list keeps things honest. Cream, milk, sugar, and just 2 stabilizers, Terra gum and guar gum, both naturally derived. Overrun sits at about 33%, meaning less air and more substance in every scoop. The result is a denser, richer texture that holds up on a hot day and offers a slow, satisfying melt. At around $5 for a 1.5-pound container, Tillamook stands out as an affordable upgrade for anyone seeking genuine dairy richness. It sets a clear benchmark for what real ice cream should taste and feel like, making it the go-to choice for shoppers ready to leave frozen dairy desserts behind. Number 3. Häagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream sets the standard for simplicity and richness in the freezer aisle. Each pint delivers just 5 ingredients: cream, skim milk, sugar, egg yolks, and Madagascar vanilla extract, leaving no room for vegetable oils or artificial stabilizers. The butterfat content sits at a super premium 13%, nearly 30% higher than the legal minimum for ice cream, and the overrun hovers around 32%, meaning every scoop is dense and substantial. This density is measurable. At 0.94 grams per milliliter, Häagen-Dazs outclasses airy competitors and resists melting for more than 4 minutes at summer temperatures. The result is a slow, creamy melt and a mouthfeel that signals real dairy with every bite. For shoppers who value a clean label and full-bodied texture, Häagen-Dazs makes the case that less truly is more, delivering pure, unadulterated ice cream without compromise. Number 2. Ben & Jerry's takes the idea of real ice cream and adds a mission. Every pint starts with a base that averages 15% butterfat, pushing well past the legal minimum and into true super premium territory. The brand's 13-step production process keeps overrun low, about 35%, so each scoop is dense and satisfying, not airy. Ben & Jerry's skips high fructose corn syrup and artificial stabilizers, relying instead on real cream, milk, and egg yolks for richness. Ingredient lists are transparent, and the company's commitment to fair trade, non-GMO sourcing is stamped on every carton. That ethical stance isn't just a label, it's built into the supply chain, from cocoa to vanilla. The result is ice cream with deep flavor and a slow, creamy melt, where social responsibility and indulgence go hand in hand. For shoppers who care about both taste and values, Ben & Jerry's delivers a richer experience on every level. And finally, in first place, Jenny's Splendid Ice Creams sets the gold standard for real cream indulgence. Every pint begins with grass-grazed cream from Ohio dairies, delivering a butterfat content that consistently lands between 12 and 15%, well above the federal minimum and even most premium brands. The ingredient list is refreshingly short: cream, milk, sugar, and natural flavors, with only 2 stabilizers, guar gum and carrageenan, used sparingly to support mix-ins rather than mask thinness. Jeni's is engineered for flavor and mouthfeel, not shelf life. The dense texture resists melting for over 5 minutes at summer temperatures, a testament to high butter fat and low overrun. Each scoop carries a rich, full-bodied taste that justifies the $9 price tag for a 1.5-pound container. For anyone seeking the purest form of American ice cream, Jeni's stands alone at the top, clean, creamy, and uncompromising. String.